Question number 2. Circle all the numbers that rounded to 90 when rounded to the nearest 10. So in this question you have to circle those numbers when we round it to the nearest 10. The answer is 90. So let's get started. Firstly we checked 85. Now here you see that the place value of 5 is ones and the 8 is tens. So you have to round it to the nearest 10. So it means that you have to underline the tens place value, that is 8, and you have to circle the right value, that is 5. Now you know that what is the rule. The rule is if the circled value is equal to 5 or greater than 5, you have to round up. If the circle value is less than 5, so you have to round down. So now this value is equal to 5. So here you add 1 in this value, add 1 in the tens place, and the other numbers become 0. So 8 plus 1 is 9 and this 5 becomes 0. So it means that you have to circle this number. Check the next number, that is 94. So you have to underline this value and circle this value. Now here you see that this is less than 5. So you have to round back. So this 9 remains the same and this 4 becomes 0. So it also becomes 90. So you have to circle this number. Now move to the next number, that is 97. Here you see that the circled value is greater than 5. So you have to add 1 in this place. Now 9 plus 1 is 10 and this 7 becomes 0. So it means that 97, when we round it to the nearest 10, the approximation answer is 100. So you have to cut this 97 because we need 90 when we round it to the nearest 10. Move to the next, 82. Here you see that the circled value is less than 5, that is 2. So it means that the 8 remains same and this 2 becomes 0. So this 82, when we round it nearest to the 10, the answer is 80. So it means that you have to cross this number because this is not equal to 90. Move on the last number, that is 86. You know that this is your ones value, this is your tens value. Now this saying that round it to the nearest 10. So you have to underline this value and circle the next value, that is 6. So this value is greater than 5. So you have to add 1 here. Now 8 plus 1 is equal to 9 and the next value becomes 0. So you also circle this value because when we rounded 86 to the nearest 10, the answer is 90. So the correct answer is 85, 94 and 86. You have to circle all these values. Move to the next question, that is question number 3. Round these numbers. So firstly let's see a part. They think that 3509 to the nearest 100. So you know that this is your ones value, this is your tens value, 100 value and 1000 value. They think that nearest to the 100. So you have to underline the 100 place value. And now what is your next step? You have to circle the next value, that is on the tens place and that is equal to 0. So what is the rule? Now you have to check the circle value. Now here in this question the circled value is less than 5. So it means that this 35 remains the same and these all values become 0. So what is the answer of this question? 3500. Move to the next question. B part, 3499. And they say nearest to the thousand. Now firstly you have to write down the place value of this number: ones, tens, hundred, thousand. Now they saying that round off this number nearest to the thousand. So you have to underline this value that is given to you in the thousand place and circle the right value of this number, that is 4. Now here you see that this circled value is less than 5. So it means that this 3 becomes 3, but these all numbers become 0. So the correct answer is 3000. You can also use the concept of number line like this. Here you see that this 3499 number is lying between 3000 and 4000, and the midpoint of these both number is 3500. Now here you see that 3499 is lying here. Now here you see that this number is nearest to this number 3000. So 3000 is the correct answer of this number. Now move on the next question. C part, 4655. Firstly you write down the 4655. Then you have to write down ones, tens, hundred, thousand. Now what is your next step? They saying that nearest to the thousand. So you have to underline the thousand place value and circle the right number that is on 100 place, that is 6. So you know that this number is greater than 5. So you have to add 1 in this number. Okay, this 4 becomes 5 and these all numbers, all the remaining numbers become 0. So the correct answer, the approximation answer of this number is 5000. I hope you understand the concept of this question number 3. Now move on the next question, that is question number 4. Here they saying that complete this table. Here you see that they write down here the number and saying round it to the nearest thousand, nearest hundred and nearest 10. So let's get started. 4155. Firstly you have to round nearest thousand. So you have to underline this value and circle this value. Here you see that this circled value is less than 5. So it means this 4 remains the same and all these values become 0. So the answer is 4000. Move to the nearest hundred, 4155. Now the thing that nearest to the 100, so it means that you have to underline the 100 place value or and circle the next value digit. Now this value is greater than or equal to 5, so you have to round up. Now here this value is equal to 5, so it means that you have to add 1 in this value plus 1. Okay, now 4 remains the same. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and the remaining value becomes 0. So the correct answer, the approximation answer is 4200. Now move on the next, round it to the nearest 10. Nearest 10 means that you have to underline this value and circle the next value, right side value. Now this is 5, so it means that you have to round up. So now this 41 remains the same. You have to add 1 on this value. This 5 becomes 6, and this the remaining values become 0. So the approximation answer is 4160. Now move to the next, for 4505. So firstly you have to round it to the nearest 1000. Okay, this is your 1000 place. You have to underline this place and then circle the right value. So this circled value is equal to 5, so it means that you have to add 1 to this place and the remaining numbers become 0. So 4 plus 1 is equal to 5, and the remaining numbers become 0. So the approximation answer is 5000. Now next, round it to the nearest 100. So 4505, you have to underline the 100 place values and circle the next value. Here you see that the circle value is 0, that is mean this value is less than 5. So it means that 45 remains the same and the remaining values become 0. So the answer is 4500. Now round it to the nearest 10. 4505. Round it to the nearest 10 means you have to underline the 10 place value and circle the right value. Here you see that the circle value is equal to 5, so it means that you have to round up. So it means that this 4 and 5 remains the same. This 0, you have to add 1 here. 0 plus 1 is 1 and the next value becomes 0. So the approximation answer is 4510. Now move on the C part. Firstly you have to round it to the nearest 1000. 5455. This is your ones place value. Tens, hundred, thousand. So firstly you have to underline the 1000 place value and then circle the right value. So now here you see that the circled value is less than 5. So it means that this 5 remains same and this all values become 0. So the approximation answer of this is 5000. Move to the next. You have to round off this number nearest to the 100. So it means that firstly you have to write down this number, then write down ones, tens, hundred, thousand. Now they think that round it to the nearest hundred, so it means that you have to underline the hundred place value and circle the next value, that is 5. So here you see that this value is equal to 5, so you have to round up. So it means that you have to add one in the underlying digit. So this 5 remains the same, this 4 becomes 5, and the remaining numbers become 0. So the answer is 5500. 5500. Now move to the next, round it to the nearest 10. So 5455, they think that round it to the 10. So you have to underline this value and circle the next value. So here you see that the circle value is equal to 5. So it means that these numbers remains the same. You have to add plus 1 in the underlying digit, 5 becomes 6 and the remaining digit becomes 0. So the approximation answer of this number is, when we rounded this number to the nearest 10, that is 5460. So dear students, I hope you understand the concept of question number 4. Now move on the next question. Question number 5. The highest point in the world is Mount Everest in Nepal is at 8,848 meters above sea level. Round 8,848 meters to the nearest 100 meters. So they say the highest point of Mount Everest in Nepal at 8,848, and we have to round this number nearest to the 100. So firstly you have to write down 8,848, then write down the place value, ones, tens, hundred, thousand, and now next is saying that nearest to the 100 meters. So it means that you have to underline this value and circle the right value of this number, that is 4. So here you see that the circled value is less than 5, so it means that you have to round down. So this number remain the same, and the remaining number becomes 0. So the correct answer is 8800. The correct answer is 8800. Move to the next question, that is question number 6. Round these numbers. The A part is saying that round this number 3509 to the nearest 1000. So firstly you have to write down the number 3509, ones, tens, hundred, thousand. Now next you have to underline this value and circle the next value. Okay, now here you see that this number is equal to 5. So it means that you have to add 1 in this place where you have to underline the digit. So this 3 becomes 4 and these all numbers becomes 0. So the approximation answer is 4000. Now move on the next question, that is 34,999 to the nearest 10,000. So firstly you have to write down the place value, ones, tens, hundred, thousand, 10,000. Okay, now you have to underline those digits there, they saying nearest to the 10,000. So you have to underline the 10,000 place value number, and you have to circle the next value. You have to circle the right value of the underlined digit, that is 4. Now here you see that this 4 is less than 5, so it means that this 3 remains the same, and these all the remaining numbers becomes 0. So this is the approximation answer. When we round it off 34,999, the approximation answer is 30,000. Now move to the next question, that is 469,543. So this is your ones value. Firstly you have to write down your place value: ones, tens, hundred, thousand, 10,000 and 100,000. So here you see that they say that round this number nearest to the 100,000. So it means that you have to underline the 100 place value and circle the right value of this number, that is 6. Now you have to check the circled value. What is the rule? The rule is that if the circled value is equal to 5 or greater than 5, you have to round up, and if the circled value is less than 5, so you have to round down. But now here the circled value is greater than 5, so it means that these 4 remains the same, and you have to add 1. You have to add 1 in this place. This 6, no, you have to add 1 in this place. You have to add 1 in the underlined digit. Okay, you have to add 1 in the underlined digit. Now this 4 becomes 5, and the remaining numbers becomes 0. Now the remaining numbers becomes 0. The correct answer is of C part is this 500,000. I hope you understand the concept how we can rounding whole numbers, how we can round nearest 10, 100,000, 10,000 and 100,000. Thanks for watching.